those first two. For you, once you realize that in college, what trajectory did that set you on with like your schooling and the type of things you studied? And tell us about that a little bit.
Well, my wife also was pre-med. I was pre-med, and I actually was the first one to kind of convince her, like, maybe there's something better for her to consider. And I actually encouraged her to consider doing work in education. That would become useful in some way because it was people-oriented. And it would be useful in missions. So first then she went into elementary education, and then I ended up sub-matriculating into a graduate program for education as well. So it was starting to then strategize about what sort of academic training could be helpful for the future. I wish I could have gone back to freshman year and done more language training and done my Japanese, but I had to do that later on in further graduate work. Other training just came from really being involved in the local church and understanding what it means to be salt and light in any society, in any culture. And I learned that in the public schools. That was my highest joy in kind of getting it for the first time, like what it means to be salt and light. When I was growing up, I was called to the principal's office just once in junior high for rolling a kid in the trash can down the hallway. But when I was teaching in the public schools, I was called to the principal's office 3 times. Once for wearing a cross, once for helping the kids to start a Christian club, and then once for teaching on world religions, and then complaints from some of the students in terms of what I was teaching about Christianity. And by that point I already knew I was going to be going to seminary, but it was an important 3 years of work experience, understanding what it means to be a working person, understanding what it means to be salt and light in a non-Christian context. And it was wonderful. So the last time I just told the principal, Joe, if you want to fire me, fire me. And he's like, oh, no. But by that point, I'd already enrolled and was ready to head off to seminary at Trinity.
Nice. I'm starting to clip. Pretty good.